The importance of marriage contracts. Building stronger, transparent unions. Marriage is one of the most significant commitments two people can make to each other. Traditionally seen as a romantic union based on love, trust, and mutual support, marriage is also a legal and financial partnership. Yet, despite the deep emotional and spiritual undertones, many couples enter marriage without ever considering the importance of a marriage contract or agreement. This oversight often leads to confusion, mistrust, and conflict down the line. In this video, we explore why marriage agreements are essential, how they protect both parties, and why the refusal to sign one can be a red flag. We also delve into the components of such contracts, their legal implications, and how they help couples navigate both everyday realities and unforeseen challenges. Understanding marriage contracts. A marriage contract, often referred to as a prenuptial agreement, prenup, or postnuptial agreement, postnup if signed after marriage, is a legally binding document that outlines each partner's rights and responsibilities in the marriage. It addresses property division, financial responsibilities, inheritance, debt management, and arrangements for children, among other things. Rather than being a sign of distrust, the marriage agreement is a proactive tool for clarity and protection. A well-crafted marriage agreement helps avoid ambiguity about critical matters and provides a legal framework for addressing potential issues. These contracts are increasingly being seen not just as legal tools, but as an expression of mutual respect and preparedness, evidence that both partners are entering the union with open eyes and realistic expectations. Why marriage contracts are important. 1. Protection of assets. Marriage contracts protect the personal assets that individuals bring into the marriage. This is particularly important if one or both partners have significant personal wealth, property, inheritance, or investments. Without such a contract, the default marital property laws in many jurisdictions could divide everything equally, which might not reflect the couple's intentions. For example, if one partner owns a family business or a property passed down through generations, a marriage contract ensures these assets are not automatically subjected to division in the event of a divorce. This protection preserves legacy and avoids future disputes over ownership. 2. Debt protection. In today's world, it's common for individuals to have student loans, mortgages, credit card debts, or other liabilities. A marriage agreement can protect one spouse from being held responsible for the other's debts, particularly those incurred prior to the marriage. It can also outline how new debts incurred during the marriage will be handled. Imagine a scenario where one partner defaults on a large business loan. Without a marriage contract, the other spouse could be dragged into financial and legal turmoil. A contract provides a financial boundary, ensuring accountability without jeopardizing the innocent partner's financial future. 3. Clarity and transparency. Discussing a marriage contract encourages open and honest communication about finances, life goals, and expectations. These conversations, though sometimes uncomfortable, foster transparency and reduce the chances of hidden agendas. Couples who are transparent about their finances and goals early on tend to have stronger, healthier relationships. A marriage contract also helps partners align their visions, whether it's about having children, managing joint finances, or buying property together. It helps create a shared roadmap, reducing surprises and setting mutual expectations. 4. Children from previous relationships. For individuals with children from prior relationships, protecting their children's inheritance is often a priority. A marriage contract can ensure that specific assets are reserved for these children and not automatically absorbed into the marital estate. It helps avoid complex legal battles or emotional conflicts among children, stepchildren, and spouses. This is especially important in blended families, where financial dynamics can become entangled. A marriage agreement brings clarity and fairness, ensuring all family members are protected and respected. 5. Business ownership and interests. If either partner owns a business, a marriage contract can safeguard that business from being divided or disrupted in a divorce. It can also outline each spouse's involvement in the business, their rights to profits, or limitations on influence over business decisions. This is critical not only for entrepreneurs but also for business partners who may fear the legal complications of a co-owner's divorce. Clearly defined terms protect the business, the employees, and clients from potential fallout. 6. Fairness and reduced conflict. Marriage contracts reduce the risk of bitter court battles by predefining the terms of separation. In the unfortunate event of a breakup, both parties already know what to expect. This clarity helps reduce legal costs, emotional distress, and prolonged litigation. By minimizing uncertainty, contracts pave the way for smoother transitions should the need arise. They are a safety net that allows couples to part respectfully if staying together is no longer an option. Why it works for both parties. Marriage contracts are designed to be mutually beneficial. They are not about mistrust or expecting the worst, but about being responsible and realistic. Here are examples that show how both partners can benefit. Case 1. A woman with a thriving career and growing investment portfolio wants to ensure her assets are protected. Her partner supports this because he values fairness and wants to safeguard her hard work. Case 2. A man receives inherited land from his family and wants to preserve it for future generations. His spouse respects that legacy and agrees to keep it separate from their joint assets. Case 3. The couple purchases a home together. The agreement outlines how the home will be handled in case of a split, ensuring clarity, especially if one partner contributes more financially. In all these cases, the marriage contract fosters mutual respect, security, and peace of mind. Who refuses to sign and why that's a red flag? A person who refuses to sign a marriage contract may be harboring undisclosed intentions. Some reasons for refusal include hidden debts or financial obligations. A person with undisclosed liabilities may resist a contract that would require transparency. Expectation of financial gain. Someone aiming to benefit unfairly from their partner's wealth may avoid signing an agreement that limits those benefits. Fear of accountability. A contract requires honesty and responsibility. Someone unwilling to commit to fair terms may be planning to exploit loopholes. While not all refusals are malicious, they warrant further discussion. Refusal can indicate a lack of willingness to be transparent or to plan for the future realistically. What to include in a marriage contract? Marriage contracts are flexible and should be tailored to fit each couple's unique circumstances. Common elements include division of property. Clearly outline how property, assets, and belongings will be divided in case of separation or death. Spousal support. Define whether either party will be entitled to alimony or maintenance, and under what conditions. Debt management. Specify how existing and future debts will be handled and who will be responsible. Inheritance rights. Outline how assets will be distributed upon death, especially if children from other relationships are involved. Business ownership. Clarify the division or exclusion of business interests. Joint and separate finances. Set rules for shared and personal bank accounts, investments, and financial responsibilities. Children and custody. Although courts often determine custody based on the child's best interests, general agreements about parenting roles and financial responsibilities can be included. Lifestyle clauses. Optional. Some couples include behavioral expectations, such as fidelity, living arrangements, or family obligations. Each clause should be crafted with the guidance of a legal professional to ensure fairness, legality, and enforceability. Infidelity and its consequences in a marriage contract. One of the most sensitive but crucial topics that can be addressed in a marriage contract is infidelity. Including clauses that define what happens if one partner is unfaithful provides a layer of accountability and transparency. Definition of cheating. The contract should clearly define what constitutes infidelity, whether it's physical, emotional, or even digital, such as sexting or online affairs. Penalties for cheating. A cheating clause may include forfeiture of certain financial benefits or assets, loss of spousal support rights, a lump sum financial penalty paid to the non-cheating partner, custody disadvantages if children are involved. Psychological impact. Knowing there are consequences for infidelity may act as a deterrent and encourage ongoing respect and communication. Fairness clause. To ensure enforceability, the contract must be reasonable and not overly punitive. Courts are more likely to uphold clauses that are fair and reflect mutual agreement. This clause reinforces the seriousness of commitment and ensures that breaches of trust carry meaningful consequences. It sends a message that respect, loyalty, and honesty are foundational to the marriage. Implications of breaking the agreement. Marriage contracts carry legal weight. If one party breaches the terms, such as hiding assets, defaulting on agreed responsibilities, or attempting to claim property not entitled to them, there can be serious consequences. Financial penalties. Breaching the agreement could result in monetary compensation or forfeiture of certain benefits. Loss of rights. A party who violates the terms may lose claims to property, support, or custody. Court enforcement. A judge may enforce the original terms or impose new legal consequences based on the breach. Understanding the weight of a marriage contract ensures that both parties remain committed to honoring the agreement. Marriage is not a business, but it has legal consequences. Marriage is a deeply personal commitment. However, it also comes with legal and financial ramifications. A marriage contract is not about doubting your partner, it's about being wise, prepared, and respectful of what each person brings into the union. Life is unpredictable. People change, the circumstances evolve, and love can take unexpected turns. Having a contract doesn't mean you expect failure, it means you care enough to plan for every possibility and that you want to protect each other through every stage of life. A marriage contract is not the absence of romance, it's the presence of responsibility, maturity, and mutual respect. Final thoughts. Marriage contracts are not reserved for the wealthy, the famous, or the overly cautious. They are for any couple who values clarity, fairness, and a strong foundation. A marriage agreement reflects a deep level of trust and foresight. It says, I'm here for you, and I want us both to feel secure, no matter what. Far from threatening the sanctity of marriage, the well-thought-out agreement enhances it. It offers a blueprint for cooperation and accountability, ensuring that love is supported not just by emotion, but by mutual understanding and legal integrity. In an era where love meets modern reality, the marriage contract is not a wedge, it's a bridge.